Okay, so here's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going with the Redline and the Ford spec for the F-250. Mine is a 2001 Superduty with the 7.3 diesel, 4x4 obviously, and it recommends a 75W90 hypoid. And the nice thing about the Redline product is it already contains any additives that are required by the manufacturer for the limited slip. So I'm using that. I'm using a lube blocker, reusable gasket, and those are available, online. And it's the LLRD060. This is a Dana 60 axle. I think technically it's actually a Dana 50 in this truck, but the 50, 60, and 70 uses all the same covers and gaskets. So that's what I'm going to use. So the first thing we need to do then is we need to take the cover off and drain the lubricant out that's in there. And then when we put it back together, this will be the torquing pattern for the gasket, the new gasket. So let's get on with that. So the next step here is we're going to get a drain pan under here. We're going to go ahead and remove all of these bolts around the edge of this cover here. Cover looks like it's in real good shape. It's just kind of filthy from the road dirt. And see, there's no drain in this differential. So the only way to get the fluid out of it, you have to take this cover off. So that's why the new gasket. And if you can see it right down in there, there's the fill plug. That's what we'll put the new lubricant back in through that hole. So that'll be the next job. Let's get that done next. Okay, these appear to be a 9/16, and like everything's metric on this truck as a rule, but I think I just found something that wasn't, because the metric doesn't fit as good. So what fits these is best is 9/16. So I just took the whiz wheel and knocked some of the crap off of it. Last one right here, that's an Allen, and it's an Allen because it's so close to this flange right here for the spring U-bolt. So they put an Allen in there, so next we got to get that one out. This will be a good time to clean these bolts up and make sure they're all in good shape too. So that'll be next. I got to get an Allen socket to get in there and get that one. That looks like a 5/16 Allen, but I really like to clean it out some because it's full of crap. Easy does her, boys. You know, you don't want to break one of these off. Just go easy. I mean, don't, and be as gentle with it as you can. So I'm using a 3/8 flex head. You know, I don't know what length it is. It's got to be 18 inches. It's sort of a breaker bar length, this ratchet. I admit, I have a ratchet fetish, so if I see a good ratchet, a nice ratchet, something, you know, that's even out of the norm, I snag it if I don't have it. I got a lot of different ones now, so I use them all. Okay, that's all of the fasteners now. All of the fasteners are out. So now we gotta pry this cover loose and get this lube out of here. I'm gonna clear some tools out of the way. Even though I got all the fasteners out of here, you probably ought to leave one up top. I'm gonna just put one in lightly back in, just so that it doesn't come crashing off on you when you pry it loose. Depends if it's been done before and what sort of gasket's in it, because the thing of it is if this one's siliconed on and I can see it, you can see the silicone right here. So it probably isn't going to be that easy to get loose. So, because whoever changed this last, it might have been the dealership. I don't know who did it, but the bottom line is, be ready. Don't take all the fasteners on unless you think it's going to stay put. Be ready for it to come loose and start dumping lube. And if it's put on like this one is with the silicone, expect a little bit of a fight to get it off. And the dealership, I don't think they put gaskets in hardly anymore, or mechanics, whoever. I think they're just using RTV and gluing them on. This is what this looks like. This has been done, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a struggle getting the RTV to break seal. There it went. God. I want my putty knife into the loop. Gears all look really good. Of course, it doesn't spin most of the time because it's unlocked, you know. The hubs are unlocked, so all this just kind of sits here most of the time, except when I put it in, lock the hubs in, or put it in four-wheel drive for one reason or another. Get that out of here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Looking pretty good. Okay, I think we're ready to clean up the gasket surface. Get the cover cleaned up, bolted back on, and fill it back up. Looks good. This is our Allen headed one here. So that one goes in here like this. Like that there. Okay, those are all tight. I replaced one of them. Probably should have replaced them all, but I only had this one because the head was so rusted and misshapen that I didn't want to put it back in. So I went ahead and replaced that one. And next time I do this, I'll probably replace all of these, but I don't have the fasteners on hand right now, so these will be fine for now. At some point I'll probably replace them or not, but we'll see. Okay, so now we need to torque these, and here is the torque. So we're starting, it actually sits like this. So we're starting with number 1, which is actually the new one that I put in. Then we'll go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the Allen, 7's over on the far side over here, and 8 is then down here on the bottom or the side. So I'm gonna just lay this like this so I don't get screwed up as to which one I start with. I'm going to take these up. These go between, it says to torque them 30 to 40 foot-pounds. I'm going to take them up to 20 and then up to 35. Using my Husky 3/8 drive torque wrench, I'm set at 20. That's 20 there. And you're way up here on top. Okay. 2, 3 is okay, they're all tight. Okay, those are all tight. Now it's just a matter of filling it with lube. Okay, when you do this, have your plug where you know right where it is. And then start pumping. Alright. Okay, so that's full. here we go. We're all done. Everything looks good. We removed the cover, drained the front end housing, cleaned it out with degreaser, and then wiped it out, blew it out with compressed air, cleaned the gasket surface. I media blasted the cover, painted it with the Eastwood rust encapsulating primer, and then I give it a coat of semi-gloss black. And then we bolted her back up with the new lube locker gasket, and we went ahead and put in the hypoid and then put the plug in. So we filled it all the way to where it started running back out the fill hole. So it's full of fresh lube now. It's nice and clean in there, and should be good for the next interval. Alright, so here's basically the tools that I had to use. I used my little Onyx impact to get the cover bolts off. I used my little Onyx quarter drive ratchet to put the bolts back in. I didn't wind up using this scraper. That's one of those carbide scrapers. I didn't use that. I used that ball peen hammer to drive this. Once I scraped out the one Allen head, I drove this in there with, tapped it in with the hammer and made sure it was in all the way before I removed it. I used my my 3/8 foot-pound torque wrench to torque the cover bolts, and a couple of different products. This is the rust encapsulating primer by Eastwood. I painted the cover with. This is the I put a little bit of Never Sees on the bolts to hold the cover on, just because they're out in the wet and they get rusty, and then they don't want to come loose and wind up breaking them off. So I used a little Never Sees, just a little bit on the very ends, so just give them a little something. Of course, rubber gloves. Broke the cover loose with a putty knife and used the hammer to tap the putty knife in, and that's pretty much it. Torqued the cover bolts to spec there, according to the lube locker people, and those got torqued to 35 foot-pounds. So there she is. She's all done. I hope this was helpful to you. Once again, take care. I'll talk to you later. I know I'm going to get questions about this fluid transfer pump, so I'll show it to you here in a little more detail. I heard about this from Eric on the South Main Auto channel. If you don't know Eric, Eric's awesome. Makes great videos. He's a hell of a mechanic, and the guy really knows his stuff. And his electrical diagnosis videos are well worth watching. He's really good with electrical, and he finds all kinds of stuff, broken wires. But the thing with him, he works in like mid-state New York, up north of New York City a ways, somewhere, a little town called, I believe it's called Ivanka, New York, and he's got his own car shop there. And Eric works on really rusty stuff, kind of similar to Watch Wes work, who is in Illinois. Those guys are in the Rust Belt, and trust me, we don't have it bad here at all. The vehicles they work on are hideous. Anyway, both Watch Wes work and Eric from South Main Auto are well worth watching. Anyway, Eric has this pump right here, so I heard about it. But it's made by two people, at least, or it's not made by Mac Tools, but Mac markets their own rebranded version of the same exact thing. And then this is the tool guy, Republic, is where I got mine, and I did quite a bit of looking to find the one that wasn't Mac Tools, because they want like 3 times the money for it. So get it from these guys, Tool Guy Republic, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but I'll try to find the link from when I ordered it, and I'll get the link in the description so you don't have to hunt all over the internet for it. It's a neat deal. It's all plastic. Your drill goes right in it. You just hook this device right here, this, socket thing for your impact. It goes into the square hole here, and then you strap your drill in. Put your drill in forward, and then if you're facing it like this, the intake side is on the left, and the discharge side is on the right. So that's the way I put these labels on here, so I would remember it. And then it comes with these quick disconnect hoses here. You get two of them, one for the intake side, one for the discharge side, and then you get a third hose here with it that has a smaller end on it. If you whatever you're trying to get lube into or out of, you can use the smaller one, like maybe like your high pressure oil pump on your 7.3, if you know what I'm talking about. If you're one of the rare people who changes the oil in that, I do every other oil change. And then I just came up with a Velcro strap to strap the trigger down on the drill, because I'll tell you right now, when you watch the video, I cut some significant time out. It took about 10, maybe even 15 minutes. Might not have been all of 15, but it took a lot longer than the video shows to pump that hypoid through here, which is pretty thick, and it's cold out. When I was doing the video yesterday, it was about 34 degrees, maybe 35 degrees. So the hypoid was cold, and so it took a while to pump it. And it had gotten dark on me. It was later at night when I filmed the end of that video, and it was pretty cold here. I mean, not as bad as some of you people go through, but for us in Washington State, Western Washington, you know, we're generally hover in the mid 40s in the wintertime like this. So we were down in the low 30s last night, and so anyway, this is all there is to it, and it's just a drill pump for, you know, with the fittings and this deal on it. And but I like it. I think it cost me about 130 bucks, if I recall, and versus the Mac Tool version, which I think is in the 300 range. So, but it's the exact same kit. There's a little bit fancier kit that comes with some more fittings and stuff. I didn't really need that. But if you're going to be transferring fluid, you know, from the jug into your transfer case and your various different things, the quick flow oil pump here, transfer pump, is definitely a neat deal to have. So I'll throw the link in the description for it, and maybe you'll want to get one of these. I've used it. I've only had it maybe a month, and I've used it 3 or 4 times already. So there you go. I'll talk to you later. Take care.